Amalekites, they are identified as a people who did not fear God. They attack and they overtake the weary. And I believe, especially since there's nothing new under the sun, that you could use this description of a people group to identify many in our culture today. And there is a severe lack of the Lord, or lack of the fear of the Lord. But there is some encouragement in Exodus 17, verse 15. This is the part I want you to really grab onto. The Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. See, we're just a few days into what a majority of the world considers a month of pride. They are proud of rebelling against God's design. But the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So since we're in this month of pride, a celebration of things that God did not design, also individuals who no longer fear the Lord, this is the month of the Amalekites. And I believe that we can learn here in this month specifically from Moses' posture of surrender. We have to call on Jehovah Nissi here. We have to remember that the Lord is our banner. So submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. That's James chapter 4, verse 7. And as I was going through this, I could not help but feel this connection between, it was so tangible that I was just like, oh my Lord, this is what we're doing. And so this is not the time for us to get proud and haughty. We can know who God is, but we can also know how God operates. And this is the time where the believers need to find themselves in the secret place, calling out to the Lord for what only He can do. It's not our fight. And don't take Satan's bait. If we don't fear the Lord, we can't expect anyone to learn from our example. So I encourage you all to take a step back from reaction as a believer during this month. I know it's hard. You want to say something, you know what you know, and you know what you think about what they know. But guess what? Their eyes have been blinded by the evil one. The Lord has handed them over. No one is rejecting God as God that God did not hand over to that rejection. And so He is fighting, and that's how He does it. You want to know how I know? Because I was it. I had rejected God as God. I had accepted a version of Christianity and Jesus that I had made up that comforted me in my sin and accepted and affirmed everything that I wanted, but that wasn't the true self. But I couldn't even see that until God Himself drew me so close that the scales fell off. And He's doing that all around the world. We go and we preach the gospel. We share the good news. We testify on your platforms. I'm not telling you to go hide. That's the devil too. But what I'm telling you to do is to focus more on surrender to the Lord and to do what He says, exactly how He says do it, because He gives specific instructions then and now. And if He says, don't say that, don't say it. Don't type that, don't say it. Don't post that, don't post it. But on the flip, if He does, do it. If He gives you grace to do the things, do what He says. But otherwise, let's spend this month of pride in the presence of God. And let's be strengthened and sharpened by our Father so that we can be ready for the ones that He is drawing out. Not everybody's going to agree. That's okay. I'm not for everybody. You're not for everybody. This isn't, and that's okay. You don't have to agree. In fact, if I've started on certain things, if you don't even believe in God or heaven or hell, don't even respond. Your commentary isn't necessary here, because I can't convince you of something that you don't want to believe. And so, at some point we gotta wipe the dust off of our feet and go to the next place where we are to be received. And we can't get caught up on everything else, because the Lord is doing what only the Lord can do in their life, in my life, in your life, so on and so forth.